It was supposed to be just another morning at JFK Airport. Thousands of footsteps echoed against polished floors, the constant hum of rolling luggage, voices, and boarding calls filling the air. Families hurried past, clutching passports. Business travelers checked their phones. Children tugged at sleeves, impatient and restless. But among the noise and motion, one man stood perfectly still. Officer Ryan Keller. And beside him, his partner, a German shepherd named Shadow. Calm, alert, every sense alive. They'd walked these terminals 100 times before. Nothing ever seemed out of the ordinary. Until that moment. Shadow froze. His ears shot up. His body stiffened, muscles locked. Ryan frowned. "What is it, boy?" Shadow didn't move. His nose twitched once, then again. His eyes fixed forward, unblinking. Ryan followed his line of sight through the crowd and saw her. A little girl, no older than 7, her hand tightly gripped by a woman in a bright blue coat. At first glance, it looked normal, just another family rushing to catch a flight. But Shadow didn't believe that, and Ryan had learned long ago. You never, ever ignore your dog's instincts. The girl's free hand hung stiffly by her side, then slowly lifted, pressing flat against the woman's back. Not a wave, not a stretch, a signal. Ryan's pulse quickened. The girl's small shoulders trembled. Her gaze stayed glued to the floor, lips pressed tight, as if even breathing wrong might bring punishment. Then, for just 1 second, her eyes flicked upward. They met Shadow's. Wide, frightened, begging. And in that single, silent moment, Shadow understood what no one else could. This wasn't a family trip. It was a cry for help. "All right, boy. Show me," Ryan whispered. Shadow lunged forward, controlled but powerful, his paws clicking across the tile, weaving through the crowd. The woman in the blue coat never turned around. Her hand gripped the girl's wrist tighter. The child's breathing quickened. Her hand pressed against the coat again, trembling harder now. Ryan knew that signal. He'd seen it before. The unspoken language of someone too scared to speak. "Stay on them," he muttered, one hand near his radio. Shadow growled low, a deep warning sound that only Ryan could hear beneath the noise. They followed until the pair reached a security checkpoint. The woman handed over passports, her smile stretched too wide, her voice sugary sweet. The officer behind the desk hesitated, flipping through the papers. Something didn't add up. Then, bark! Shadow's sharp command cut through the entire terminal. Conversations stopped, heads turned. The girl flinched. Her lips moved soundlessly, but Ryan could read the words even without hearing them. "Help me." Ryan's chest tightened. A little boy stood beside the girl, barely 5 years old, clutching a stuffed bear so tight his knuckles turned white. The woman's smile faltered. "Is there a problem, officer?" she asked too quickly. "These are my children." But her grip on the girl's wrist said otherwise. The child winced in pain. Shadow barked again, louder, sharper. His tail rigid, teeth bared, eyes locked on the woman. The crowd began to whisper, watching. Ryan stepped forward, badge out. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step aside." Her tone hardened instantly. "We have a flight to catch. You're wasting time." Ryan didn't blink. He'd seen too many predators hide behind smiles. "Security," he said into his radio. "I need a private room now." The woman's composure cracked. Her eyes darted around. She tried to walk away, but Shadow blocked her path, a low growl rumbling in his chest like distant thunder. Officers surrounded her in seconds. The children were gently separated and led into safety. Inside that small interrogation room, the truth began to unravel. The girl's hands shook as she whispered, She's not my mom." Silence. Cold. Heavy. Ryan felt his stomach twist. The documents were fake. The names didn't match. The dates were wrong. Under pressure, the woman's story collapsed like glass. She wasn't their mother. She wasn't even related. She was part of a trafficking ring using forged papers to smuggle children through international flights right under everyone's noses. The little girl clutched her brother tightly, tears streaming down her face. I tried to signal, but nobody looked. Ryan knelt beside her. "Someone did," he said softly. He looked at Shadow, whose calm, steady eyes reflected only loyalty and quiet pride. Outside the room, officers led the woman away in handcuffs. Her protests echoed down the hall, but the truth had already spoken for itself. For the first time, the little girl's shoulders eased. She knelt on the floor beside Shadow, burying her face in his thick fur. "Thank you," she whispered. Ryan looked away, blinking hard, because he knew. Not every hero wears a badge. Some heroes have paws and a heart that understands what words cannot. If this story moved you, don't just scroll past. Tap like if you believe every hero deserves to be remembered. Drop a heart if you've ever loved an animal-like family. And follow for more real stories that remind us why the bond between humans and animals is something truly unbreakable. Because sometimes, the smallest signal can save the biggest life.